Hi there, my name is Kira Kavanagh, and today I would like to speak to you about the merits of choosing a family home daycare versus a daycare center. I hope that after my presentation you will be better understanding of the advantages a home daycare setting can provide, and be mindful of it should you or a friend ever be looking for childcare in the future. So first we're going to talk about flexibility a home daycare setting can offer. Then we're going to look at the attention each individual child gets in a home daycare versus a daycare setting. And finally, we're going to talk about the one big thing that all children truly need to grow and develop to their full potential. But I'll get to that later. So let's talk about flexibility. Flexibility can mean a lot of things. And in this case, it can mean three things for a home daycare. So number one would be mixing age groups. Now in a daycare center, they're not able to be flexible and mix children, with many different age groups all in the same room, because that's just not convenient for a daycare center. But in a home daycare, you have children with a wide variety of ages, and therefore they learn things from children older than them, and they learn how to be patient and kind and gentle with children younger than them. And that's just something you can't really get at a daycare center. The second thing we're going to talk about flexibility is individual schedules. So in a daycare center, there's a set schedule, and all the children are conformed and molded to adapt to the daycare center's schedule. Now in a home daycare, a provider is better able to accommodate the individual schedules and rhythms of each child. So if you have one child who really does well with one nap in the afternoon and that's it and they're good to go, then a daycare provider can accommodate that. And if you have another child who does a little better with, one shorter nap in the morning and then a shorter nap in the afternoon, a home daycare provider is better able to be flexible and accommodate those children's differing needs. And the third thing in regard to flexibility is, of course, a parent's schedule. Now, it's not as simple for all parents to have a 9-to-5 job 5 days a week. Some people have shift work, some people are on call, and it just is better for those people if they're able to be a little more flexible about scheduling. In a daycare center, you have to pay for your full days, whether you use them or not, and they can't change your days from one to week. Whereas in a home daycare, you can make an arrangement with your provider and say, listen, we need Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday one week, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday the next week, because my husband's on shift, and a daycare provider who's working from home is better able to accommodate those changing schedules. And having someone who's better able to accommodate your schedules allows a parent to take their mind off all these scheduling and really focus on what's important, which is spending time with their family. Now, speaking of focus, I'd like to draw your attention to another key benefit of choosing home daycares: smaller ratios. And smaller ratios means that a provider is better able to focus on each individual child. Now, having less children means that things are less likely to sneak by a provider's eye. So if you're dealing with one problem and you have 20 other kids in a daycare center, something could be happening that you're not catching. When there are fewer children, there are fewer things that are going to slip by you, and therefore your attention is going to be able to be better spread among all the children. Also, in regards to focus, it's a known fact that more one-on-one attention is going to help learning, because you're going to be able to sit down and better explain a concept to a child that they might be confused about. You couldn't do that if you had 18 children, like in a daycare center. So a home daycare setting provides more one-on-one attention, which is going to help boost your child's education. And also, kids have off days. A home daycare is better able to alter their routine and focus on an individual child's needs. Say they woke up really early and then didn't want to eat breakfast that morning. Well, lunchtime is a long way to wait, and in a daycare center, they can't stop everything just to focus on one child who may or may not be hungry. In a home daycare, a daycare provider is better able to focus on the changing needs of each child and accommodate them accordingly. So finally, that big thing I mentioned earlier, home daycares are opening up their homes to children, and there's a certain amount of emotional attachment to children you're essentially helping raise in your home. That big thing all children need to develop, it's love. Home daycare providers often end up loving children just like as if they were their own, because they're helping raise them in their homes. there's also a certain sense of love for these children's families. Because as you develop a relationship and get to know each other, it becomes an extension of a child's family. You are an adult they look up to, and you sometimes can provide advice to parents. So it's really an extension of a family. A home daycare setting is really a family, a second family for a child. And also, there's a love of helping children grow and develop. Sometimes in a daycare center, you might wonder if maybe they're doing it for an easy job or just a quick way to get paid. But you know that in a home daycare, if somebody is willing to open up their home, it's because they truly enjoy children and have a love for children. And your child is going to be treated just like their own, which is very calming and provides a sense of reassurance for parents. So, we've talked about how home daycares offer flexibility for families and children, are better able to focus on individual children, and provide unconditional love and strong relationships with children and their families. I hope that with this knowledge, you will think twice about automatically choosing a daycare center and give family home daycare a second thought when you're looking for the right fit for you and your child.